What's up, people? You're watching a clip from the WRESTHINGS podcast. Make sure you follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and give us a 5-star review. By the Mandem, for the Mandem.
Boy, they're saying there may be some cuts in
talent.
Yeah.
How soon is this?
I'm sure I saw this earlier this week that they're looking at potential cuts. So,
As in, they're going to release people or contracts won't get renewed.
In terms of like releasing people, I suppose. That's what I've read anyways this week.
So people are going to get fired.
Yeah.
Not contract, like Tony Khan usually does, he's not going to renew your contracts, but people are going to get fired.
I believe it might be fired.
Oh, when I said this years ago, they tried to cook me.
Well, let's see. Firstly, no one should lose their job. I don't want anyone to lose their job. But if it's firing, then I need to see the uproar that there was.
Firing or let go? Let go of. Because firing is crazy. Yeah, that's like get out of office.
Well, let go is like maybe the contract didn't renew, they didn't reach agreement, they just went their own ways. Yeah. But if it's literally you're being released from your contract, unless that person has asked to be released from their contract, then this is the same thing that, obviously WWE got shut down for. Granted, WWE done it during the pandemic at large, but
we'll see, innit?
I know bare contracts are not going to get renewed this year. And I mean, rightfully so. Like, on both ends, you're not doing anything for the company and the company's not doing anything for you. So people are just collecting a paycheck. I know people want to wrestle, but then at the same time, a lot of wrestlers aren't using their initiative. Go to the indies. You're not bigger than DPW. You're not bigger than Beyond. Like, you can at least go and do some graps. Hoop. Do something for the sickos, man. Do you know what I mean?
I can't remember what stream...
We indie takers, we can stuff to talk about.
I think it was me and NK doing Revolution Radio last week, and I think it's our subscriber SDK08. He must have said something like AEW has 190 members of the roster.
Didn't Jem say that to us as well?
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Like, I nearly fell off my chair. Like, I was thinking, what? Like, I don't know. It's one of them ones here where it's like they have 3 programs, so they need a lot of people, but 190, and then you think, how many people do I actually see every week?
Every week, yeah.
And how many people do you see across each show? From Dynamite to Ring of Honor to Collision to Rampage. That's a lot.
I said 190 people. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, my question is this. Cool, they've got 190 people on the roster. What would be a better way to have these people that you think are missing on TV? Is it through backstage segments? Is it through more matches? Is it through them being on commentary every now and then? Like sometimes they'll do like a random show or something like that.
I don't even like KW's backstage segments. They annoy me so much.
Sorry, do you mean like to remember these people?
So like, you see how, for example, I don't want to compare because I don't want people to come and start saying, "Oh, why are you comparing?" But it is. So NXT, right? You watch NXT. And you will see every day, you will see like a wrestler on backstage doing something, and you're like, oh, things here. Like you,
Jay Malachi, we saw that.
Like not, he was there.
Yeah,
there you go. So like subconsciously, you're not thinking, oh wow, he's there. But you'll say, oh, I saw him this week. You're not missing anything. You know what I mean? But whereas AEW, you watch the show, a Dynamite, you watch a Rampage, and you're not really seeing the full. I'm not saying that Miro should be backstage buying a donut or buying. Do you know what I mean? But at least have something where it's like Lana, I don't know, someone backstage knocking on Miro's door for you to remember that. Okay, cool.
Have some presence on the show.
Yeah, Miro's still here.
Is it because their presentation's different though? Like they're not trying to give us this.
I'm not asking for sports presence. I'm not asking for sports entertainment. But all I'm asking for is,
I get what you mean.
Like, I want to know. I don't want to forget these people. Like, I was very high on Miro going to AEW. You know what I mean? And when he did come out, it was proper sick. Obviously, the game stuff. Besides the game stuff, when he came out and it was actually Miro, it was great. So I don't want him to be missing. So with that being said, like, is there any way in your head you could think, cool, how can we position people? How would you position people on a TV show to make sure the audience at home, not at an arena, can remember that this guy still works for the company, or this guy is still something,
I think one of the ways for me, obviously, I don't want to make the comparison because AEW and WWE are obviously 2 different companies, but I remember something that Triple H was doing early on. I don't know if they're still doing it now. They'll put out a vignette to make you remember. Oh,
they still do it now.
This person
they do it on NXT more time though.
Do you know what I mean? So even something little like that, I guess AEW could maybe incorporate. But I
do that on
don't know
pay-per-views.
if that's them.
Yeah, it's not them, but then again, it would. Do you know? Let me just leave the conversation here because I don't people come and say that. Cool, I'm comparing.
No, you're not.
But
You're trying to figure out a way to accommodate
if that is the case, I think
yeah.
I'll ban for them because they already make these sick vignettes anyway on Instagram. I see the stuff they've done for Daniel Bryan. I think is inspired by Tiger Pro. What's the name again? The guy that does edits. Yeah. I've seen them start doing stuff like that. So even if you just throw that in the mixtures, like for example, Abaddon. Oh, where's Abaddon? Graphics. Oh shit, Abaddon's coming. We have some sort of like, do you know what I mean? It makes everyone feel important a bit. Or even if it's a thing where it's like, cool, I don't know, Alistair Black or who else is there? I'm trying to think. Pento, what's his name?
Ray Phoenix.
Ray Phoenix, he's injured, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure if you just cut a little vignette of his best high-flying moments, slap that on the thing, people are like, oh shit, Ray Phoenix is still here.
It might just not be a thing they do. I mean, you're saying all the right
but then
things,
again,
but
it's
like they maybe
Yeah,
would rather dedicate that
man,
time,
yeah,
that 30 seconds, that 1 minute to give it to someone's match. Like, because there isn't any reason. They do vignettes and stuff, but it's usually to fuel feuds and matches. So the stuff you're saying to kind of remind us, or we see something happening, abstract in the background or whatever. Yeah, it seems like they're just choosing not to do that.
I do think also in AEW's defense, hopefully, I think this year they'll look to steady the ship in terms of their roster. Now they've got their Mercedes, potentially Okada, they've got their Will. They've kind of got who they want in terms of on the products. Do you know what I mean? But there's still guys like, obviously, speculation, like guys like Malachi Black or Miro who don't want to be there. So maybe once they get rid of those guys,
Does Miro not want to be there?
Or maybe it's just a creative.
I remember that rumor came out with
Miro beat Andrade at what, World's End?
World's End,
yeah, in one-on-one match.
Yeah.
And then remember Lana wasn't well before. She came out of World's End, but then she regressed. So I can only imagine he's off TV because of Lana. Because it doesn't make sense for him to win at a pay-per-view and just not be on TV since then. But yeah, maybe between Miro and AEW, whomsoever, that needs to be improved if he is going to stick around.
Yeah, there was also the rumors that came out. I think Brian Alvarez said about Miro not wanting to lose. Is one of the reasons why he doesn't get booked on TV.
That was a while ago. Yeah, that he didn't want a job to certain people or something like that.
Did you hear it?
No, because if your employer is telling you to lose,
then go and lose the.
If Grammatica can say it, if Grammatica can say it, anyone can say it. That's crazy. I love Grammatica. Like, jokes aside, for him to say I don't want to lose to this person is wild.
Yeah,
especially if you're a perennial loser in Ring of Honor. You've been losing.
You're not new to this.
But I hear it though. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, I feel like Tony Khan just needs to have a tighter grip on the ship in terms of like. Yes, no, not every day. Okay, cool. Let's see what your plan is, and then if it works, it works. If it doesn't, we'll kind of retcon from there. It doesn't make sense.
And don't be so trigger happy, man.
And I feel like if people aren't showing up, like I don't know, I feel like especially even Ring of Honor now, I think it's gone past the days of being like the indie-rific show where freelancers was calm and put on excellent matches. Yeah, it's done for that. It's over. Stop bringing in new talent that you're not going to sign. Yeah. Use this as a platform for people that are not going to be on Dynamite, not going to be on Collision, not going to be on Rampage, and let them come and do work there. Because that's initially what I thought they would have turned Rampage into. But now it's just, Rampage is whatever they want Rampage to be. So if a Kip Sabian is not wrestling, then on the main show, then let him go and wrestle on a thing.
Basically what they're doing with Athena, because Athena's not really getting time on a Rampage or
she won't though because she's their main champion. Like she's the only Ring of Honor champion that actually wrestles week in week out on Ring of Honor.
So what I'm trying to say is that before she became champion, right? She was doing the Ring of Honor runs.
She was in Dark.
Yeah.
She was in AEW.
But when she came to Ring of Honor, she's staying there, right?
She went to Ring of Honor, won the title in Ring of Honor and then stayed there.
So that's what I'm trying to say. They should bring wrestlers that are not getting time on TV on these big shows, on these main TV shows, and bring them onto Ring of Honor to build themselves up, like what we've got Athena here. I mean, Athena's been on Ring of Honor. She won what? She was on PWI, top 5.
They do that, but ultimately, they then bring them back. It's like we don't know what they're doing on Ring of Honor. Like I'm sure, Shane Taylor Promotions. He's been on Dynamite this past.
He's all elite now, isn't it?
Or Collision.
He's been all elite.
I think they officially said it over this last couple of days. But
I saw a graphic.
Like he'll go to Ring of Honor, beat some jabroni, and then come to Dynamite Collision and lose. So we don't. Okay, you're saying they're going down there to build themselves up. They probably are, but then
I'm backtracking. I'm sorry, I'll forget that one.
No, you're right. But it's like they come back to the main show. It's like nothing's changed, really.
Yeah. And it just makes you feel like, okay, cool, is this what you really think of Ring of Honor? Outside of Athena and outside of whoever the world champion is, maybe you look at Ring of Honor as just this place where people just come and just have fun and then come back.
NK had a good idea that they should give Ring of Honor to Scott D'Amore.
I believe so as well.
He said that on Revolution Radio. I was thinking they should give Scott D'Amore the women's division. Because obviously he's done such a good job in TNA.
Hey, Tony, if you know yourself.
But yeah, just hand it over. What's up, people? You're watching a clip from the WRESTHINGS podcast. Make sure you follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and give us a 5-star review. By the Mandem, for the Mandem.